It's 23:01 on the 4th of September, and I'm just uploading with regard to the level of nonsense that this fiasco in Tralee, County Kerry has reached. As I've mentioned in all my uploads, the original offences with regard to a child that was unlawfully separated from his mother. Now, there were, as I've mentioned, individuals of practices against my child while unlawfully separated from me, and that traumatized my child. Now, the matter at the moment is the new level of nonsense that the offences in my county have been brought to, with individuals trespassing onto property and intruding upon me and my proximity and my privacy entitlements. As I keep reiterating, this building has been violated since 2019. There has been publicity of private and personal information, and there has been slander and false reporting from this building. So it has come to my attention now that there are individuals that are being nonsensical in their claims with regard to my personal life that they have no access to. I live with a chair up against my door. There is no one entering in and out of this apartment. I have a very tidy, clean living space, and I am experiencing the most dangerous disruptions. The people coming in and out of this building have been assisting treason and hate crime. When treason is involved, there's the violence of faith, religion and spirituality involved, as well as the Human Rights Declaration stipulates, which is a pretty clear and simple point. Then there's the issue of the abode, personal information, the correspondence, the family unit, the family property. That's another human right. Then there's the right to privacy that all human beings are entitled to. So when these things are being violated, it becomes a little bit more serious, especially when they're not being treated, acknowledged or recognised, and when they're being exacerbated. So it's quite serious what I'm tolerating. As a humanitarian, as a Catholic, individuals making spurious claims about my personal life when they don't actually live with me, know me or interact with me, and when they are not of any good credibility, and when they have no experience of what they're speaking of. It's a little bit serious when that kind of defamation is going on. So look, it's like this now at this hour of the night. I just said I'd upload for my updates with regard to the stupidity of inhumanity and the ignorance of people not being able to address their failings, shortcomings and their defects of character, and the insanity of people's behaviour when they're not behaving sober. So there's a lack of sobriety, there's a lack of sanity, and there's a lack of courtesy, sense and respect. As a married mother, property owner, as a teacher with a clean track record, this situation is absolutely appalling in my hometown and my county. My community, my local community where I have been born and bred, is experiencing the most horrendous level of nonsense, incredulous, petty, mature or immature behaviour, should I say, that's been a cycle of nonsense for the past 3 to 4 years. So that's what hate crime culminates as, and it's getting out of control. People teaching SPHE will be able to identify with these human rights issues. Anyone in the secondary level with SPHE experience will be able to utilise these experiences for the classroom also, with regard to hate crime in particular, which are offences against the state and the constitutional wrongdoings. So it's a bit silly when politicians, practitioners, etc. Fail to address the actual wrongdoings, and when they have been exploiting financially, and when they're trespassing onto vast amount of property that they have no right to, and when they're disrespecting a humanitarian that has saved many and much, as I term it. It's really silly that the basic constitutional wrongdoings can't be addressed. There's the 5 basic agencies, and this whole charade has just gotten out of control. These culprits are incompetent, they have been unprofessional, and it's just a sad sign of the times. So it would be really fantastic if the guards and the government could remove the liabilities from my proximity that have been taunting my child, withholding him from the best care of his mother, and that have been trespassing onto my mountain property and my homestead in Ardfert, County Kerry, and also those individuals that have not been paying their debts to my name personally and that have been developing from my experiences in their academic research and their experimentative developments without my consent, I might add. So it would be really intelligent, it would be really respectful, it would be really sensible for civil society, especially, you know, with all the recovery that's been going on with COVID-19 and all that, and my work as a humanitarian and my endeavour in 2018 to help civil society. It would be really sensible. It would be really intelligent for people to be a little bit more sensible and courteous about the reality about how to handle matters, because, you know, making up stuff is child's play, and we're not in a playground. We're in adult life. This is adult society, and people just picking and taking from a woman's work and credentials, accomplishments and expertise just as if they're in a candy store is a little bit cheeky. It's a little bit careless, and it's not very sensible, especially when it's kind of expensive stuff they're stealing from me. So as I've mentioned, it would be really intelligent if we could look at the failings and fix the problems rather than coming up with little stories like little children, because at the age of reason, children of 7 would know better how to behave and handle these problems. So the guards and the government have a duty to remove the liabilities from my proximity, and there's a very serious issue with liabilities causing any further problems, as they've already caused to my child at the tender age of 2 years of age. So it's a sad sign of the times. I hope the United Nations knows what kind of problems are going on in Tralee, County Kerry. It's very serious.